My today's guest is Nik Rave, photographer from Winnipeg in Canada who enjoys a plethora of different genres, but keeps a special place in his heart for nature photography. Enjoy. Nik, good morning. Welcome to Frames. It's pretty early at your place, right? I'm so sorry. This stupid time zones.
Yeah, that's true. Time to cancel them, probably.
Probably would be not the worst idea. But you just mentioned to me just before we started recording that actually it's a typical wake-up time, for you, 6 a.m., right?
Yeah, so usually my wake-up time is like around 5. I'm not using my alarm clock for a couple years already. Just natural habit of body waking up and say, go do something. So, yeah.
Okay, great. So I feel a little bit relieved. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's talk about your photography, right? Amazing stuff. I can see you sent some images my way, and also, I looked at your website. I can see you are really enjoying it. You are really into all possible genres, shooting, weddings and headshots and people, and going into the nature with your cameras, amazing animal stuff, but also some interesting, close-up images, kind of abstract black and white things. So, and you also wrote me that you are not really following any trends, right, or obeying any rules. I can see also applies to genres of photography a little bit. You are basically enjoying it all, right? Tell us a little bit more about what is it that drives you.
Yeah, it is correct. I cannot say I'm enjoying photography as a photography itself. I'm just enjoying creative process of doing something, recording something, registering something that otherwise will be just passed by. And it's usually like it's expressed only through photography, right? Because this is probably the only way how you can record, manipulate image, or just make it show to someone. And usually when I even like share it online or to people, it's not just to share. It's usually to share the moment, like it show what it was, make them feel kind of fish what I felt like. And usually even when I'm photographing, I'm trying to not to photograph the picture, but express the feeling of what I felt in that moment. And that's apparently expresses in many images that have been deleted because they're not exactly as I felt they should be. in many regards, yeah. But it's very personal. It's less of, creating an image rather than the process of obtaining it. It's more about this.
Okay, so you, if I understood it correctly, you also work in completely different kind of, artistic, maybe mediums like music, or maybe what are the other things you do, and what are the parallels here?
Yeah, so it's hard to draw a parallel because virtually beside photography, I run a couple different businesses unrelated to this. I also enjoying them because they create a creative scene of of things, but they're like non-related at all, so it's not worth even mentioning. And let's say what I can draw a parallel between photography as itself is to create. I'm just mentoring companies for mechanical aspects, and I like see their transformation, how they came from point A to point B. For me, photography is literally the same. It's like you have nothing in front of you but your imagination and some equipment, and by the end you have some image. And the image you have sometimes it's not exactly even what you intended to take of it, but then post-processing, and sometimes you leave it aside and it sits there for a couple of days, maybe a week, maybe a year, and then it's just, growing over itself, and then you make it. Yeah. So it's a process. It's just an enjoying process.
So, and you are an aircraft technician by profession, right?
Yeah.
So I can see I can see your love to nature, the many animal shots, landscapes, and so on, predominantly. I mean, at least among those images which you sent over, and wonderful shots. Do you think you are looking for some kind of balance, when going after those nature shots, balance to exactly this technical stuff you are dealing on a daily basis? In your job?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. That's absolutely the right point. I'm literally looking for completely opposite from what I'm doing in the regular life. to just comprehend it and match them together, but still make them go parallel to to the like a life frame. I mean, like just through the days. They're not overlapping by any means, but I felt them as a comprehensible part of my life. So virtually, I call my work work, and I have hard time to call my photography work, even so. Like for many people, it's professional, and I treat it as professional, but I just can't call it work because I'm enjoying too much. So yeah, I still call it hobby. I'm a hobbyist, so.
But you still you also offer services, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
This
Absolutely.
would be more on a this would be more on a job side of things, but I can imagine you also go there with pleasure and really enjoying the process again, right?
It is. It is. It's very important. Like it happens like a couple times, not often, but I've been offered like good, interesting things in terms of like from look inside. But I felt like it's not resonates with me, and I'm trying in photography not to do something I don't like, because I don't want to extinguish this feeling of discovering something new every day. And it's sometimes hard to do when you're doing it every day, right? It's like you have a bowl of strawberries and you really like strawberries, and somebody say, hey, this is the best strawberries in the world, and this is 10 more kilograms for you to eat today. I'm not sure you're going to enjoy too much. So I don't want to eat this 10 kilograms. I want my bowl.
Yeah. Okay. And now about this not following, trends, and maybe exactly rather listening to your own intuition, right? And following your heart. But do you have any strong, inspirations, or, maybe photographers you really admire, or is it all open carte blanche,
It is literally open. I have a lot of photographers I love from the past, from the present. I never, that's the point. I don't judge by the bulk of work. So sometimes like really mediocre photographer can produce extraordinary image once in a lifetime. And it's, it can inspire and lead some new feelings towards something, or just guide you direction you never were thinking before. And yeah, so it's an open book. It's literally open book. When I'm just scrolling through, and whatever page I like, I'm going to use this page and I'm going to read it.
Yeah. Let's talk about your nature photography. It's I mean, really some wonderful shots. And I can, I was, when looking at them up front, I was just, imagining, and now I know your early wake up calls and so on, so I can imagine you are being in the nature, in the woods. You also live in an amazing region, not the worst region, right? Winnipeg region in Canada, close to the big lakes and so on, right?
Yeah.
How did this develop exactly? How did it start? When did it start? And how does your ordinary or like a typical photo, nature trip look like? Like, are you spending a whole day in the wilderness?
So yeah, it's pretty simple. In the most cases, it's more of repetition in terms of going places or walking trails. For many reasons, I'm doing it early just because animals are more active in the morning, as well as people less active in the morning. So it's like, plus it's two components that connects together and provide you a window of opportunity. I'm doing it once in a while with the friends, and we have an agenda every single time we're going anywhere. So we have no anticipation and no expectation from the trip. We're just enjoying being in the moment. And if something happens, then it's beat, and sometimes it's not, then it's still fine. So it's virtually a matter of how many times you're going to go through the place. And once you hit the target, I mean, like you see the animal or see maybe nice tree, maybe scenery, you just have to think quick and just use it for your benefit and just take a picture, or like maybe shoot short video, or maybe, just enjoy it and walk out because the position is not right, or light not right, or just animal doesn't look your way. Things happen. Just for me, it's important to remember to enjoy rather than anticipate and then be frustrated. So yeah, and yeah.
No, but still, I'm looking like, you send maybe like 40 images over, and there is like a plethora of different species and different kinds of animals. So I can imagine, this is not the worst region to be there, and to meet an animal in the wild, probably it's a relatively possible and easy thing to to encounter, right? Because
Yes.
I mean, you have birds, you have foxes, you have horses, you have everything there. And okay, I don't know exactly what lenses you use, you use, for your photography, but from the photos, I get the feeling that you are relatively, close in the vicinity of those animals, So how does it work out? Like, let's maybe take this one particular shot, which, is it a fox?
Yes.
On the
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
So okay, I can imagine longer lens probably, because unless they come close to humans, I don't know how it works over in Canada. Here they will be running away, right?
Yeah.
What's he posing for you? Tell us a little bit more about this
Yeah.
particular, almost like a portrait, right? I would say a
Yeah.
portrait of a.
Yeah, so this is important for me also. When I'm taking picture, I'm trying not to document scenery. I'm not documentary photographer. I want to create a feeling of it's a portrait. This is actually what I strive for. I want to show something beyond. And I try to show in portrait not just face, but maybe it's moving subject. So it's like, it's a quick glimpse on you. So this is what's important. So it's not just I'm looking, staring into nothing, or just standing still, doing nothing. It's just boring. So trying. So this particular one, it's literally 10 feet away from me. So 10 feet away, it's, I don't know how much it is. It's like in meters, probably 5 meters, 6 meters, maybe 6, 7 meters, maybe. That's close. That's close. Most of my images 400 millimeter, just because that's the lens I have, like the longer one, and I don't have anything else for many reasons. One of the reasons it's just heavier, bulkier, and it's just reduced my options to just frame it in. So regarding close proximity, some animals will let you come closer. Some of them you will have to crop post factum if you need it. But in order to create and like compressed background, you still have to be relatively close to the image. Otherwise, it's hard to do it in post production. This particular fellow, was from the public trails. That's the trails that in the middle of the town. And many people going back and forth. And this is the mom. She's guarded her newborn cubs. And she is really used to for people, so she's not so let's say alerted. However, it's still wild animal. You don't want to be really close. You have to respect the rights of the animal, like personal space. So this was relatively close. Usually, if you're on the trail, you try to stay on the trail and do it from there, because animals expect you to not pass the trail. They see people. They know they go there. They're gonna be alerted, but that's a personal space. As for the people, you just need to respect area you're working at.
Yeah, and when it comes to, I mean, when I'm looking at this particular shot, it's really we mentioned before, it's like a portrait, for me. So you are saying you are kind of after this particular, feeling and look in your photo. There are many of them. There are cats, there are birds. Actually, basically looking into your camera. Is it something you enjoy the most?
Of course. Like, if I could take like this image, for example, and it's 20 of them, and none of them none of them reflects what I was aiming to, they're all going to garbage. I never save any images that I don't like. It's like collecting, things you're never gonna use them, hoarding, and that makes no point. So it's might be end up like literally going there for 2 hours, spending time, coming home, just enjoying what's happened, but bringing nothing back. Easy.
Yeah. But you also, create completely different images, right? We have some architectural approach here, wonderful stuff. And what's the difference here? So again, we are talking animals, before portraiture, people, but now those architectural shots, and also. Yeah, again, let me show this image now. This particular one, it's an image of an old gate somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where it is. It's snowing. It's a wonderful shot, with the tree in the background. Just stunning. It's beautiful. I love it. But what's happening here, like emotionally? What is it? A different passion of yours, or is it again? Looking for some kind of balance within all of those directions.
Yes. So again, this is one of the shots that more of a luck. I call it lucky shots. But again, all lucky shots, as I express them, they can be taken only with experience. Some sort of, you have to learn how to notice these rare moments. I'm not saying I know, I just say I notice them once in a while, because I bet a lot of them just passing by and we never see them, but someone might spot something in the same place. So this one was actually on my drive towards Horse Ranch. And I was aimed towards just come there, and it was nice snow, and it's a little bit of a foggy day and snowy and not so cold. So I expected to get some portraits of local horses. And this is one of the things why my wife say you have to put sticker on your car, frequent stops, beware. So it's like literally slam the brakes, reverse. Luckily, no one in the back. No, of course I've checked, no one in the back. But yeah, so this is some kind of business. I'm not familiar with this area, and this was the gate. They closed it for the winter season, and this is exactly as you see. This is how it's looked. It's literally like open space to infinity in the back, and everything laid out so well. So I just, and again, the all I had is my 400 millimeter, and to frame it in 400 millimeter, it was nearly impossible from the spot where I am. So I just jumped over there is some small creek, just pass it on, went couple 100 meters and just took it from there, from the distance, and just run around to see if I can frame it well. And then I realized my vehicle is too close. I almost breaking it. So I came back, moved the vehicle, come back. So it's a creative process again. If it's in camera, if it's outside, sometimes you need to run your feet a little bit to make it happen.
So what would you say if you would have to name, 2 or 3 features of this particular scene? Like you noticed it, you say. So how would you define what caught really your attention? Why did you take out the camera? What did you react to?
The gate was the first one to react, and I spotted something going on the back. I didn't spot it right away because I've been driving pretty quick, and it's really on the side of the road. But it just was look like, I don't know, something kind of captivating. So it's almost rise a feeling of something expecting you on the other side, but it's, I don't know, it's not frightening of any kind. So I'm not saying it's spooky of any sort, but it's something beyond. So it's rise the feeling of something gonna happen. Probably you'll discover something, or you want to cross this, open the gate, cross and go and check what's going on the other side. But again, it's not in a spooky way, but rather than exploratory or just curiosity. Yeah, that was my feeling.
Yeah, that's why I think I reacted. It's definitely one of those, I call them kind of question mark images, right? I mean, there is so many question marks. It's a story there, but we don't know what it is. And so this made me react, when noticing this photograph of yours. So it's fascinating. You as a photographer, being there first, and then the viewer, but definitely reacting to similar things. Yeah, so I mean, wonderful. You are really, respect, right? So with all your jobs, businesses, I don't know. Do you sleep enough? I hope yes, yeah, and so on. But you are covering it all. Where would you like your photography to go in the future, or is it also you play it basically by ear, or you have any kind of plans, dreams, photographic ideas?
That's always the dreams. I recently been hired for one of the museums to create reproductions, photographed a lot of their exhibits, and it's close to 4,000 exhibits. So right now we're just going back and forth. We're gonna have to create a studio inside of their space, so certain equipment will require. And I love things like that, especially when just photography takes you places you've never been before. This weekend, for example, I've been flying to the location, it's 400 kilometers drive up north. In our cases, it's just you're going up to reserves, and there is a forest that just all burned out because of wildfires. And so they're doing an effort of seeding, planting new trees. So they planted, 50,000, maybe 70,000 trees in a day. And I'm just asked to photograph it and document it in a way they can use it and to raise awareness of it. So it's beyond wildlife. this is the things I love. I love meaningful work. I love when you do something that not just a picture, and even if it's pretty picture, it shouldn't be, outstanding and just go and be somewhere like as exhibit by itself. But if it's contribute to society, this is makes me smile. Like this is good. This is okay. And I think like it's a kind of gift of photography. It's something you can do beyond. So yeah. I'm looking forward for things like that, like for projects like that. This is what makes me strive to do more.
Is there like a hidden, message or exactly, idea you want to spread behind your animals photography? Is there something you want to say with all those photos?
It's never been out of like my mind, but if I can create like a cumulative idea of everything, is probably do not forget that you live in the nature and nature not live around you. So we are as a species, as a human being, we are stepping into someone's territory and we have to respect it in any way we can. So as a matter of fact, even if you go places, make sure you take out more garbage that you brought in and probably don't bring anything. And also, remember you live in a place that you share it with, right? It's not yours, even your own house, your own backyard. I believe you paid a mortgage or whatever it is, but still animals can go in, they have no idea what it is and still respect the rights, kind of fish to live on this planet. So I think this is most important.
Yeah, wonderful. Nik, wishing you all the best, that your photography, makes this impact, and multiple touches them. And and on the other hand, wishing you more and more enjoyment, and discoveries, some unknown, stories and trips. Thank you so much for being here, sharing it with us. I will be sharing many images of yours along the video. So, and linking to your sites and, so wonderful to have you in the community. Anywhere and any destination today, or is it just,
there is a destination. Actually, I have one place I want to visit. I assume there's a foxes there, and I want to see what's going on because it's by the creek, so they might hunt, they might catch someone. And as a matter of fact, I've been there yesterday, and it's a quick funny story because I had like literally 10 minutes to be there and fly away. So I say, okay, I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna run a little bit, and then when I came to the destination, I will stop and do. So my first 3 steps, and I hear this something sound, and I just, what's going on? It's actually been fox on a trail standing, and I just frightened him, and she just flew away. I tried to cut and just save 2 minutes, whatever, and just spook it out. So I assume I've been right. So I'm gonna go there again and try to be more cautious.
Okay, so it means there is some planning involved, right? You know the location, you know where to go to find the foxes and so on, right?
In many cases, but all planning goes through discovery anyways. You cannot know things before you came and discover it. Once you discover, you'll be lucky for a couple times, but then all animals are changing places and locations, right? They're gonna go around. And it's always a matter of like go and enjoy, trail the trails, and hope to find, discover. And if you are, then good. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, then I will not keep you any longer, Nik. You are. I think I can see you are ready to go. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your photography. Thank you so much once more, for recording this conversation with me.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.